Oh my God. I was just sent this story by Sebastian. I could not believe that it was true. They have released Jussie Smollett pending a verdict from his appeal. Let me read this article and then I'll tell you what a mess this is. This is a mess. It says Jussie Smollett was ordered released from jail by an appeals court that agreed with his lawyers that he should be released pending the appeal of his conviction for lying to police about a racist and homophobic attack. The ruling came after a Cook County judge sentenced Smollett last week to immediately begin serving 150 days, which is only 5 months in jail for his conviction and 5 felony counts of disorderly conduct for lying to police. The appeals court said Smollett could be released after posting a personal recognizance bond of $150,000. So they did charge him a bond, okay, but the fact is he's still out. Smollett's attorneys had argued that he would have completed the sentence by the time the appeal process was completed, and that Smollett could be in danger of physical harm if he remained locked up in Cook County Jail. The court's decision marks the latest chapter in a strange story that began January 2019 when Smollett, who is Black and gay, reported to Chicago police that he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack by 2 men wearing ski masks. The manhunt for the attackers soon turned into an investigation of Smollett himself and his arrest on charges that he'd orchestrated the attack and lied to the police about it. The investigation revealed Smollett paid 2 men he knew from work on the TV show Empire to stage the attack. A jury convicted Smollett in December on 5 counts of disorderly conduct. The charge filed when a person lies to the police. He was acquitted on a 6th count. Judge James Lynn, that's the guy, sentenced Smollett last week to 150 days in jail, but the good behavior, he can be released in as little as 75 days. Okay, he couldn't even wait the 75 days. Let me tell you what's going on. His family put on the biggest campaign to get this man released. It started when he was in court, when he kept saying, I'm not in danger of taking my own life. He said the S word. Remember that? After that, his brother came on and said that they were getting death threats. Also, TMZ is reporting that he went on a hunger strike. This is what led to the him going to the psych ward. He has had his favorite celebrities come out on his behalf. His sister started a movement to free Jussie Smollett for 5 months. And basically, his attorneys are saying, you've already punished him. He already paid a fine. This is overkill. He already served community service. It is what it is. And I feel like he cried and pleaded a hunger strike till the judge just said, okay. The judge just caved in. But it's pending a conviction of the appeal. I think it's over. I don't think they're going to convict him on I think they're going to dismiss everything on the appeal. That's what I think. A lot of people are outraged. When Sebastian gave me the story, it was just aired on Fox. I went there in the last couple minutes. Twitter is in a rage. Let's start bringing people up. Sebastian, thank you so much for this story.
No problem. I got you always. First of all, they're saying how he's claiming Lent and doesn't want to eat anything or anything. I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic. That is one of the biggest lies I've heard. During Lent, you do not fast from not eating. During Lent, you on Fridays, you just don't eat meat on Fridays for the 40 days. On the Fridays only, you don't eat meat. But some people do it the whole 40 days of not eating meat. There is no such thing as a Catholic where you fast and do not eat at all and just drink water. That is
So
unless
you're
you
saying he's
decide
just
to do
throwing
it.
a fit,
He's just
anything
throwing a
to
fit.
get out.
He's throwing a fit to get out. And one thing I'll also say, oh Sharrell, don't forget your banner,
Oh,
your banner.
okay. Thank you.
Also, I also want to say this is exactly what I mean. The criminal justice system is so unfair. The only reason why Jussie might be getting out is because of his socioeconomic status. That's the only reason why he might be getting out. This
Yeah.
is this case was analyzed by so many legal scholars and everyone analyzed it. Taraji over here is trying to make this thing about Emmett Till, trying to compare these two with Emmett Till. There is no
Yeah.
comparison. What Emmett Till happened to Emmett Till was done by white men. That's what happened to Emmett Till. Jussie, he paid these people to beat him up, and they're not white. Well, unless the pictures show they're white, but they're not white.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
They're not white. Why? I think Jussie is his family is so ungrateful that they got 5 months.
Mhm.
5 months. You could have.
Mhm.
He's not even gonna serve the whole 5 months, Sharrell.
Mhm.
He's not even gonna serve the whole 5 months.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
75 days he was gonna serve.
Now, V, you are what I call a Jussie sympathizer. Where's Lola? Oh, I put her. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm right here.
Who you
V,
calling on?
you, V.
Oh,
What are your thoughts on this?
I just think that they he can't do it. He just can't do the time. I think he just can't do it.
Well, V, he did the crime.
I know, but
Exactly.
the
Right.
crime, like I said, the crime was an overkill to me. I mean, the punishment was an overkill for the crime. So he just can't do the time right now. I think he just can't do it.
Mm-hmm. I think I was going to say too. I think that his team, his legal team, is better than Tasha K's. I mean, he went. I mean, my God, he went out
True
there.
that. True that.
He went out there and had all these problems in Chicago. Had them going around the world with all this chaos, and he went into the prison, and he's out within a hot second. So whatever his team, they
Yeah.
work better for him than Tasha K team worked for her.
Yeah.
Is this a disgrace, Lola?
Sorry, y'all. Yeah, this is crazy. First of all, I have to agree with Sebastian. I was raised Catholic, and Lent is not even about food. You're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays, but you're supposed to give something up. It could be watching TV, it could be watching your favorite show, chocolate. It's a realm of things. So the whole fasting thing, that's like, to me, is like insane. If he's using the religion for that, it's completely inaccurate. Also, it's insane to me how can you sentence someone and then literally 24 hours later release
Yeah,
them?
how long has
I've
it been,
never heard of
guys?
that. That beats white privilege to me. It's like, God, you know what I'm saying? He must have been a model citizen them first 5 hours because he got out in 24, like instead of 150 days or whatever. That's insane to me. I mean, but it is until he does face his appeal, which remember, guys, he can even in his appeal, he could be given even more time, if I'm not mistaken, when they retry him.
So you're saying this is risky. You're saying this is risky.
Yes, because when you do an appeal, you can like end up adding more. You can completely come out like innocent, or you can get even more time. So I mean, I don't know. This is crazy to me.
Did
I
we-
mean,
I was going to say, do we think the appeal will go to that judge again? Because if he gets that judge again, that judge might be mad and give him 10 years.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
better
no,
hope
it's true. And it's supposed to
Please.
go to the same judge.
Wow.
You're right. I
Ooh,
mean,
okay.
how
Uh,
pissed off is the police commissioner going to be in Chicago? Because remember when he came out and he like spoke about Jussie Smollett, how they weren't going to tolerate people using like taxpayers' money to like basically play a fool with them. So it's like,
Mhm.
and then I do say, like, Taraji, you're really like reaching over here trying to support him for this buffoonery to me.
Mhm.
We all know he's guilty. Anybody
Harry,
with two
what are
brain cells.
what are
And
your
this is
thoughts
what I
on the
think.
hunger strike?
No. I mean, I think all that's just bullshit. Really,
Mm.
like his
Mhm.
family going on and doing all this. But however, I'll go back and not to agree with V or Diva.
Mhm.
It's up to his attorneys to fight this, right? It's
Mhm.
like people have got off with more technicalities than this, right?
Yeah.
Now the whole thing is this: once it happens, it's not right when somebody else get off on it.
Mhm.
But when you make a mistake in the legal system like that,
Mhm.
he was tried once for it.
Mhm.
Did his community service or whatever, right? Now, it wasn't enough time. I don't have a problem with the time they gave him
Mhm.
for what he did because that
Mhm.
shit was wrong. And we can argue whether we think he was right or is he telling the truth. Most people understand he lied,
Yeah.
right? So it's a crime. And not to get into like other cases. Well, this person this person that. We talking about Jussie Smollett. This case, right? What I'm saying is, the time itself is not that much, but I think the family is so high on their little high horse that they feel like, oh, my family is above the law.
Yeah, you feel that the family really had a lot to do with this because they were going hard. They were going hard for Jussie. They said he was not in danger of taking his own life. They started the free.
Why is he not eating and he's not in danger of taking his own life?
Right, exactly. I mean,
the hunger strike was a bit much for me.
He raises right fist and just say how he's not suicidal, but then you go in.
You said the word.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I mean, but now you in the psych ward, okay? So if you're not, why are you acting like it? You know, when you're an actor, like he acted out the crime itself. With the noose around his neck. People
took it off and put it back on.
Well, Perry. Oh, well, they don't do other people that way. I'm just saying right is right, wrong is wrong. They should punish other people for doing a crime too. When you false allege somebody did something.
But what about people that say he already got charged a fine, like V? She's saying he already got sentenced. He already.
No. I get that part. That's his right for the appeal. That's for him and his legal team to handle.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying? That's why they're doing the appeal, I think, is because I think he and his family feel that this is unjust for him because the punishment was an overkill, and he already paid a fine. He already did whatever the community service stuff. He's already been punished, and then they repunished him again. He can't take no more. He seems like he's a little fragile right now.
Well, or is he pouting, V? Is he pouting?
He's pouting.
He's fragile. He's fragile.
If he
fragile?
Was
he fragile when he put that noose around his neck?
No,
exactly.
He didn't.
I think when he put that noose around his neck, he probably was
Sharrell the prosecutor.
I think he was probably out of his mind when he put that noose around. I was going to say this. I think that if it goes the way the family wants it, then they probably have to and need to own up and take full responsibility for him, because he learned a lesson? I mean, if it was all this kind of problem that he created, he didn't learn a lesson. So
I'm sure
he
showed
might
him.
try to do it again. He might try to do it again.
He would do it again, and next he got hit by a train.
Oh Lord.
I'm just saying. I mean, because when you spoil a kid like that, it gets worse and worse.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right, Perry. You're right.
Yeah.
V, do you really think that Jussie was gonna stop eating until he got out? And can you stop eating for 5 months? Isn't that? I think what's the longest you cannot eat? Huh?
A dog.
20 minutes.
Exactly. A dog will stop eating
For me.
until you feed him nothing else. He was going to eat that food that's in there. Jesse's going to eat. Jesse feel privileged. Okay. And it's not about his color of his skin or none of that shit, right? What I'm saying is that the crime he committed was wrong. And I know not everybody get crucified for that. So let's not go with that. I'm just saying it need to be across the board. If we asking somebody else to get, punishment for it, when it comes to your own color, you get to ask for the same thing, because you get to set the standard. This is what happened when you falsely accuse somebody. But now his argument will be, and I get it, and he's right, because people have got off for less. Not if a person's not read they Amanda rights or whatever, they can get off on that, right? And know they committed the crime.
On a technicality.
Yeah, a technicality, right? So what I'm saying is, his attorney should approach that, because it seemed like they had worked out an agreement.
Right.
But outside of that, as far as the time he got, I don't think 5 months is too much, especially when you're only going to serve half. And then at a certain point, I would think that you want to just do it to put that behind you. Get it over with. Because if you keep appealing and it don't go in your favor, what is his parents going to say when he get a year and a half?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right. You keep saying he just couldn't handle it. What is it he couldn't handle?
They put too much on
He
him.
only been in there 5 minutes. What was there not to handle?
Well,
He's
you're
in the
gonna spend
psych
5
ward.
minutes in jail.
He in a room
Oh,
by
oh,
himself. B.
hold on.
He in
I
a
don't
room
mean to
by
interrupt you
himself.
guys. I wanted to address this. Tina Knowles helped him, period. She came out today and said that the time didn't fit the crime. So Beyonce's mom did come out and publicly speak in on Jussie's behalf. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but that's important to mention. Thank you, Ruby Red. Go ahead, V. What is it he can't handle?
That's what they saying the same thing that I'm saying. They gave him too much. It's an overkill for what the crime that he did. It's his first offense. Nobody gets that much. So of course he having a hard time with this. He having a hard time being in there. He having a hard time handling it, and it's just him being treated unfairly all the way around. That's why these people are
Okay,
Unfair.
B,
Hold
listen
up.
to me.
Can I-
Let me
may
ask you
I-
a question. Huh?
What I was gonna say is that I feel like his family feels emboldened because they know it's a lie, right? But they feel like Jesse's sending a message that racism is a thing. Now we're all minorities on here. We all have experienced racism one way or another. It's real. But for you to fake a crime in order to drive that point, that's not the way. The means does not justify the end. So for me, it's like I completely disagree with V. He needs to go to jail. Like Perry said, I completely agree with you. Regardless if they are your own race or not, the crime is a crime, and everyone should pay for it equally. That is equality.
Period.
Well, not equally, because all crimes are different. And I think that
I'm saying for any crime in particular. Like if a white person steals something and they go to jail for 5 days, then so should a Latin person, so should a black person for 5
well, that
days.
would
I'm
be
saying
nice
it needs
if
to
he
be
was
equal.
done that, but it's not.
No,
That's not how
we
it's
understand that, right?
That would
And
be
then
nice
we come
if
out
you could do that.
and we'll say this person should have gotten this, right? We know life ain't fair, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is, it's just the whole thing is that you can't criticize the other when you wouldn't do it to your own. And you have a better right to say, hey, you know what? Committed the crime, do your time. Then now you can expect more from the other side. Now, I'm not telling you not to hope. Say Jesse got his little 5 months. When somebody else come out here and make a false accusation and somebody get incarcerated or whatever, right? Off a lie, right? Then that person should get the same time as Jesse got. But you can't just say, well, I want it this way for this and not the other way around. It's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the justice system. You just said yourself, we know it's not fair, and everybody's supposed to get the same for the same crime, but we know
Right.
that's not true either. So,
Exactly. That's why Jussie should be grateful that he got 5 months because the justice system is unfair.
Yeah, he got off easy, honestly. He really did.
He could have gotten 5 years and a half. He could have gotten that.
right,
Okay.
he could have got more time, but
I have an extremely long line. I'm going to keep Lola and Sebastian up because they gave me the story. I got to keep V up because Eric's going to yell at her. And
So
then
I've been voted off to Allen.
yeah. What else? What are your last words, Mel?
No. I was just going to say, you know what? For me personally, I think that I think people are probably angry with Jussie because we live in such a crazy time, especially as minorities in this country. So when you come out and do a stunt like this, and it sort of hurts sort of the movement in some way, then you're going to have this strong reaction. Now, I agree with V to some extent that we don't know what happened in that court before he got that verdict. We don't know what color or whatever somebody been in there and could have, went out there causing lies and stirring up trouble, not being African American and got something even lighter, less than 5 months. So the idea is that in America, you can be a non-African American person and stay in the falsehoods and get 2 days and maybe community service. Sometimes that happens a lot. And I think a lot of times people get angry about that on the other side. Say, listen, not everybody who's doing falsehoods is getting 5 months. But I think that because Jussie did this in the time we live in, people are angry because he sort of hurt the movement by doing all these stunts as an actor when we need to focus on real crimes against the community, not people making up fake ones.
All right, Mel, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Mel.
I've been voted out, honey. All right.
Mel made V leave. Mel made V leave. He spoke them facts.
Let me bring up 2 more people. Hi, Sin. Hi, Pia. How are you?
Good. How are you? Hi. How are y'all doing?
You lost B,
Hey.
You lost B.
Yeah, she did. She hung up.
Okay.
Hi, Sin. Sound off. What do you think about Jussie being released until
I
a pending
think,
appeal?
okay, y'all are going to get mad at me on this one.
Okay.
I think since they made him pay his fine, he did the community service, then the judge turned around and gave him more time for community service, made him pay more restitution fees. And I mean, come on now. And then you put him in jail for
exactly. It seems like
150 days. Justice system is not fair.
right. Seems like the judge was more out of
He was mad.
anger than he was out of what was fair.
Exactly. He was like
Yeah,
scolding his child.
No, I'm
Well,
saying
yeah.
look, I agree with that. I'm just saying because it's like double jeopardy, right? And anybody have the same thing. You can't be tried for the same thing twice. You know what I'm saying? Once you had that plea, it should have just went with that. Whether people can come out of it and say, well, that wasn't strong enough, that was too weak. The district attorney had agreed to that. So
right.
I do agree that, hey, once you make that plea and you make this agreement, they should follow through with it.
Pia, what are your thoughts?
That's a good point, Michelle. That's a good point.
Great point, Michelle.
Martha Stewart, Felicity Huffman, Teresa Giudice did not kill anyone, but they served their time. That's true. Go ahead, Pia. I'm sorry.
To me, it's like a child who throws a temper tantrum until he finally gets his way, because you wasted everyone's tax-paying time looking for two people that did not exist. You did it. And then the fact that your brother pulled a Wendy Williams brother and went on a whole spree.
Right.
That's what it was giving. Okay.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Pull the Tommy. He pulled the Tommy.
You had him doing that. And then, you had your grandma come up there, which I don't know why she was there. And I mean, to me, it's just, you did it. Sit your behind down, do your 75 days, and you will be fine. Nothing was happening to you. You were in your own you weren't even in Gen Pop. You were secluded from everyone.
For real.
So nothing was going to happen to you. Or maybe that's why you wanted to get out, because you wanted to be in the general population.
Yep.
No,
it seems like to me people are saying that it's okay to treat Jussie unfairly because he did this crime. So he should pay in any kind of way because he did this crime. But do you know how many people every day, how many people call 911? Y'all talking about people using up time, call 911 for stupid stuff. I mean, people every day do stuff to the city, to the state, and use their time and stuff, and don't get those type of punishment. They did an overkill on him. He should have did had some kind of punishment. I believe in that because he did get busted. He got caught.
Right.
He was the one that got caught. But what the judge gave him was too much.
But these celebrities need to understand that when you're on a major platform and you mess up like this, they're going to use you as an example. So the rest of us understand that they can't get away with it, and especially we cannot get away with it either. So for me,
Sin, are you in the car?
No, I'm at home.
I think it's Pia.
I'm good.
Oh, it's Pia?
I got it. It was my fan.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is they're going to use him as an example. So for him getting community service and paying fines, which he should have, because he used all those police officers' times that could have been stopping robberies, rapes, and all these like horrific acts that really do need police officers to be there for. So for me, it's like he deserves to go to jail for. I mean, he got only like what 50 days. That's like what 2 months and a half. I mean, 150 days, but like half of that, 75. That's like 3 months. That's a summer. He's all right.
Pia, what are your last words? You're having audio problems. What did you want to
Well, at the end of the day, even though he is getting out and he's waiting for his appeal, he hurt himself because no one's going to take him seriously in Hollywood. He's not going to get any jobs, period. And if he does, probably going to be on like BET Her or something. I don't know.
I can't.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Listen, Pia, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate the call.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
So funny.
Lola, you said that Chicago could have been the crime rate and everything in Chicago is so bad. I mean, the cops should have been doing something looking for the other rapists and
No,
killers
I'm
out
not
there.
saying that. I never been to Chicago, so I'm not going to talk about how their state is and how their city is and stuff like that. I'm just saying that police officers, instead of trying to find a fake crime, solve a fake crime, could have been doing things that are more towards what they're supposed to be doing, like handling real crimes and real people who need help.
Can anybody on the panel answer this question, what she's talking about? Molly says, police probably spent more time on Jussie than the pregnant postal worker who vanished months before he lied. What are they talking about?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, it was
I'm
the
not
lady
sure
that
what they're talking
vanished.
about, but what they're saying is that they didn't take that like that to make it public.
Right.
But once they got a chance to shine themselves, they took that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Dorit,
everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the police wasted so much time on going out looking for Jussie." How much time do they waste when they're supposed to be really looking for real crimes and doing stuff they should be doing to help the community? How much time are they wasting then?
A lot of them turn the other way.
Nobody
All right.
says nothing about that.
Exactly.
Black
There's
mom,
good
black
and bad
friend.
cops.
What sound off? What are your thoughts?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Perfect.
Good,
So,
Mom.
what I'm gonna say is Jussie got off really easy. He should have had to do the full 5 months. If I was the judge, he would have spent a longer time in jail. He endangered people's lives because had the scenario played out and a police on duty and saw them interacting, somebody could have really got hurt, shot, or killed. He wasted a lot of police officers, a lot of resources that could have been committed to solving other crimes. He set the same movement that he cares about and loves so much backwards. And I'm going to tell you something. So there's a white man, who would love for me to be his sugar baby. But this white man does not believe
Oh, snap.
slavery.
She got my attention.
I know, right?
This white man is very wealthy, college educated, went to Columbia University. He does not believe that slavery was as bad as people make it out to seem.
Ooh.
There are white people who don't even think slavery existed. And we have these constant arguments where, and this is how he thinks and his friends thinks, that Black people are over exaggerating about slavery. And he doesn't think it's as bad as the Holocaust because he thinks that white people weren't out to exterminate Black people. So when you have people like Jussie doing these kind of things, those same white people are taking cases like this to prove their point. He's setting us back. And to be honest, not only is he setting us back, there's so many cases like Black women missing, violence against people of like our people that need to be taken seriously. So he cannot sit here and make up crime because he wants attention, because he's a narcissist.
So let me reword what you're saying. You're saying that when there's a real crime and people really need help, no one's going to believe it because people like Jussie has abused the system. Is this what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, but just because one person lies doesn't discredit all other Black people who really are going through something. Like, that's not fair either.
Lola,
You're just choosing to see it that way. You're just
Lola, I'm gonna tell you something. When our victims, there's so many reasons why our victims don't come up and tell their story, and it's because of stuff like this. People were like, well, oh, she's lying. People always look to discredit real victims, and they will use somebody like Jussie and his story and what he's done to discredit real victims.
No, I'm not.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but in a reality, that's how they work. For a white man to tell me that slavery wasn't as bad as Black people making out to seem, girl, we are living in a twilight zone. So we don't need anybody who is quote unquote for the movement setting us on OBS.
No, I get, you're completely right, but it's funny to me how the opposite is true, and how like Karens, when they lie, they get all this attention and they're believed at first, and the person, whoever, like that girl who took the phone from the boy in Manhattan, remember that? And he got arrested and tackled. Right. Like, how does she get believed off the bat? Like, it's like you pick and choose what you want to believe.
But you have to stop it when that person has to come out to be a liar.
Believed right off the bat.
That person needs to do time like Jussie.
And
It's what I'm
Terry's
trying to say. It's
absolutely
like
right.
you get to find some way to break the system, right? Like everybody needs
So
to
you
be held
want to start with
accountable.
Jussie?
And huh?
I said,
Well, I mean, okay, that they started with us way many years ago. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, right now, if we're gonna argue this should happen on the other side, when it happened on your side, it is what it is. Let's set the standard, right? And move forward, right? Because you can't go and say, oh, this Karen over here should get this, but oh no, because he been suppressed.
Yeah.
No, let's give them all the same time and set the standard. So you have a bigger case. If somebody come out here and falsely accuse somebody next year, I mean, it's been plenty of cases with a white woman. Oh, well, this happened. Threw my kids off the bridge. It was a black male 6 feet, right?
Right.
Some innocent black guy get incarcerated with no attorneys and do time.
The prison are like that. I mean, the prisons are full
Let
of
me
black
do this.
men.
Sebastian, thank you and Lola for the story. I'm going to drop you, Sebastian, Lola, and Sin, and Dorit. Dorit, did you want to finish up what you're saying? Because I got a lot of people that want to talk.
Yeah, I'm going to say this to V. I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you this. They have started persecuting people who make falsified reports early. I know a few years back, this white girl accused 2 black students of R-ing her. And once they found out that she made it up, they persecuted her. I feel like I understand what you're saying with Jussie. You feel like they're studying with Jussie, but the truth is Jussie has a bigger platform. So that's why it feels like they're starting with him, but they've been doing this on a smaller scale. So that's why I understand. And you know, Jussie's famous. That white girl from God knows wherever she was, I think from maybe New York or something, wasn't famous.
Right.
So Jussie's famous. Jussie has also doubled down on his lies. And Jussie has created hysteria and chaos. And that's why this case got so much attention. It was him, his emphasis, and his profile. So that's why you may feel that way, but people are starting to hold the false accounts liable and starting to press real charges. That's all I have to say.
They should.
Thank you, guys.
Well, all right, let me get more people
can I say
in there.
this real quick and I'll go?
Line. Would you say, Sin?
The city, can I say this for a second? The city of Chicago cannot complain about spending money and resources to find the people that Jussie so-called did this to him, because when it was time for them to research and find out what happened to all them girls with R. Kelly, they turned the eye. That's all I wanted to say. Free R. Kelly. I be damn.
Right, what? She crazy. They need to get that woman. They need to get that woman that accused Emmett Till, because she's still alive and they're still protecting her and hiding her. That's real justice.
Exactly.
I don't care if she's 80 years old or 90 years old. They need to lock her up.
Let me get more callers in because people are waiting. Thank you guys for calling in. Again, Sebastian, Lola, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I'm trying to bring as many people in because this is a long line of people who want to talk. Hi, Angela. How are you? Hi, Toria.
I'm doing
Smoke.
What's up, y'all? Good evening again.
Let's start with you, Angela. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I don't think that the crime fits the time, and the reason why I feel that way is because he has to pay for all of the resources that it took. He has to pay that fine. He did his community service. I feel like if he was not a minority, he wouldn't have went to jail for this. That's my opinion. All of the Rittenhouse, he went and killed people and went straight home. And I know that we're saying that we can't go by just because of what happened with one, that we can't justify it on the other. However, when are we going to start? When are we going to start doing what's right?
Right.
No,
when
I
are we
get you.
start doing what's right?
Right.
I get you. I mean,
just like at the January 6th, he got more time than a whole bunch of them.
Right.
Yeah, he have flicked his nose at the justice system, but guess what? How many times do they flick their nose at our black boys?
Yeah,
right. No, I get you.
Right there for 2 hours, and this, I'm gonna tell you, whenever it goes to appeal, he's not going back to the same judge. that judge did for 2 hours after he was found guilty. He berated him. He talked down to him. He treated him like he was trash.
Yep.
I'm not in agreement with what this guy did by no means.
Yep.
I am not. But it's too many of our young Black men that's in jail. In jail. And we can say, well, Teresa Giudice went here and this person went there. They went to federal.
No, I agree with you. I agree with that. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It needs to be a change, though. Okay.
But let's change with them first. Let's change.
Okay. Right. No,
before we start constantly saying, no, he needs to be
Okay. No.
Harry, let her talk. Let her talk.
Let's start with him. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this. I know a kid when he was 16 years old. He got into live in a very nice neighborhood. A young Black boy, 16. He got into a scuffle with some other kids, other white kids. And they ended up scuffling, guess what? With a skateboard. And this was a good kid that had went to the governor's mansion, did really well in school. Never got in trouble before. Raised by good parents in a good neighborhood. You know what they tried to charge that child with? They tried to charge him with what was it? Assault with a deadly weapon. His parents had to pay $15,000 to get him off for some child stuff. Now, the shoe would have been on the other foot, that would not have happened. Until we start protecting our young Black kids, you know what? This guy was clearly wrong. But if I can see it happening to other races, I wouldn't have a problem with him sitting in there for five years. In 2016, a man went to prison for stealing $30 worth of candy. He went to prison for 20 years. For 20 years.
Latoria, what's your thoughts on it?
As a race, we need to come together. And we need to do justice. Not for Smollett. Not for him. But as
agree.
People.
I see your point.
I agree with her 100%.
It's not towards
the time did not fit the crime. And people don't understand why he's free right now. When this first happened, the prosecutor said they was not going to prosecute him. Give me $10,000 and 15 hours worth of community service.
Exactly.
Then the chief of police made such a big stink, which, by the way, he got arrested for drinking on the job. He made such a big stink, and the mayor came out saying that he was wrong and this, that, and the other. Another judge that did not have the authority to hire a special prosecutor, convene a grand jury. He didn't have the authority. You cannot tell somebody you're not going to prosecute them and then come back and do it. That's how Bill Cosby is free today for the same exact thing. You cannot do that. So that's why he's walking free today, which he shouldn't have been in there anyway. I could see the probation. Yes, he was wrong, the probation, but not the time. That judge, I was the one with AT2 that day and listened to the whole thing for hours.
He told him he went from riches to rags.
Long.
Riches to rags. He'll never be anything else in it again. The way that judge talked to him was deplorable.
It was wrong. The judge had no right berating him like that. He had like 25 pages of a speech. You know, that was prepared way before sentencing day. So this judge already made up his mind.
Angela and Latoria, he did do something wrong and wasted a lot of people's time and money. And
no, he didn't waste their money because he paid for it. He has to pay for all that.
So you're saying it's overkill. That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
It was just too much. It was just too much. If he was a white person, Sharrell, every day, I see it here in Pennsylvania. White people call the police all the time on Black people. And nothing happens.
And you're white, right, Toria?
No, I'm Italian. I am not white.
Okay, well, but you see racism, don't you?
Every day. I've had crosses burnt on my lawn. I've had my house spray painted. And this was on a military base. I had a lot of things happen because of racism, because I've been married to a black man for 37 years.
Right.
And
Wow.
I have mixed children.
Mhm.
And they call my children the N-word and all that.
Well, what do you think should have happened to him?
Society-
What do you think is a deserving punishment?
Probation, community service, and
A
I think
fine.
he should donate his time to the youth there that's getting in so much trouble and try to stop some of the killing and the gangs there in Chicago. They could put him to a lot better use than him sitting in jail.
I have never
Because that's
seen.
just
I have
costing the
never seen a.
taxpayers more money.
Yeah,
Him
I have
sitting
never
there
seen a
for
judge test uh chastise somebody so bad as that judge did him.
He
me neither.
And I
Me
done
neither.
seen some
See, I
crimes
ain't never
before.
seen nothing like that.
he will not go back to the same judge. There's
Well,
no
look at the white cop, Potter. When they sentenced that lady, that judge stood there and cried. She killed.
Smoke. I want you to address the person on the that's on the screen. They're saying, but he lied on the witness stand. That's a fu to everybody. They gave Jussie ample opportunity to come clean, and he did not. Answer. What do you say to the person who says that, Smoke?
I mean, this for me, this whole situation with Jussie is complicated because of not only how the justice system treats us in America, but also the fact that Jussie is well versed and educated and knows these things that happen to us.
Mhm.
So the thing where I'm conflicting about is like, why would you take that gamble and concoct the situation up and think that they would not catch you and they would not try to make an example of you? And I mean, and honestly, he didn't have to get on the stand. Like, he chose to do that. And I don't know what it is in his head that he is trying to hold on to this scenario and what he trying to be this black martyr for Black Lives Matter, or just be making himself to be like this image that people can look to. But I feel that honestly, by them releasing him, I'm it pains me, but I think he would try something like this again.
Angela, what do you say to that? What Smoke is saying is that he's not young. He knew what he was doing.
And I agree with that. And everyone, Taraji, beyond Tina knows, no one said that he was wrong. He was right. We're not saying that.
Right.
I'm in agreement that he was wrong.
Exactly.
I'm in agreement that he was wrong. That kid, that guy in the scuffle with other kids, I'm in agreement that they was both wrong. But at the end of the day, the crime did not fit the time, in my opinion. He will never be able to speak for the Black community. He's not going to be a martyr or anything. All I'm saying is that the time did not fit the crime. That's my opinion. Why? That judge had a point to prove. If you go back and you listen, that, in my opinion, I really think that judge was pretty mad because of he bought in the MAGA stuff. That's what I think.
I agree with you.
I
agree. He was a Trump appointed judge.
Well, maybe.
I'm not saying he wasn't wrong. And no one else, I have not seen anyone else saying that he wasn't wrong. What they're saying is that that the crime does not fit the time. That's it.
I see your
All
point,
right.
Angela.
Thank you for calling in, Angela. I got
I'm
a
gonna let
long
you
line.
bring somebody else up, Sharrell. I'm gonna say goodbye. Good night. I love y'all.
Bye bye.
I love you too. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Smoke, for calling in. I'm trying to get a lot of people in today.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Go ahead, Perry. Why I bring on a new group?
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna say, because I understand what Angela's saying though, and I think, and what they're saying is, 5 months may not be too long, but it needs to be spread out equally. When other people make false reports, they should get the same thing. Most people, if they make a false report, they may get the 5 months, but they didn't have to pay back to the city $130-something thousand.
Right.
Let's start with you, Miriam. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is, to be honest with you, I'm happy he's out. And that doesn't mean I'm saying that what he did was right. Here's the thing. Just a couple of weeks ago, two kids fought in a mall here in New Jersey. One was white, one was black. The police came to the scene. The black kid was handcuffed with his belly down, and the white kid, he sat on the sofa thinking he was going to be next, and he was never handcuffed. So
I seen that.
I seen that.
The problem is with the justice system. When a white kid can carry a rifle, travel states, and get nothing.
Right.
This is where the problem lies. The judge wanted to make him an example. And I wouldn't be surprised if we dig into the judge's social media or political views that we see something racist over there, because he wasn't trying to be he didn't act like a judge. It's like he had so much hatred. I don't know if hatred it is. Maybe he was thirsty. He was like, this is my moment to shine. And he acted like a housewife. He wouldn't stop talking. And it was, I'm trying to make fun out of, but this is a very serious situation.
Yeah, serious. Yeah.
What he did, what Jussie Smollett did was wrong. At first, I was appalled. I was feeling with him, and then I felt betrayed by. This is a man that, like, I watched him on TV. I don't know, but I felt I was being human by feeling that, wow, he was targeted. Just to know that that was a lie. But then again, we want justice for all. Injustice somewhere is injustice everywhere. So for me, for them to try to be just on Jussie and not on the rotting house thing, what's his name? That terrorist, the homegrown terrorist. Like, this is not justice. So yeah, he shouldn't be out. Make him pay. Make him do community service. Maybe he can be an advocate, to help kids get out of the street or whatever. Maybe he needs help. I think he needs help. That was a terrible lapse of judgment of his, and it doesn't show like he's all right there. He,
Well, Amy J, what do you say to people that say he not learned not one damn thing? He pouted the whole time. He threatened a hunger strike. He was just ridiculous. He needs to stay in there just because of his behavior alone. What do you say to that?
I just say that in America, we tend to like to see this level of, I don't know, like suffering or punishment. It makes us feel better to see something happen to us to be justified in our feelings, but that has nothing to do with this particular situation. I don't think he needs to suffer the way people want him to suffer. It would never be enough anyway. The people who are mad that he lied want him in jail for 10 or 15 years. I don't think he should be in jail. I'm glad he's out. I'm glad that he has a family that can help him maneuver his issues. And maybe one day he'll be okay. But right now, I'm tired of watching him. It's almost like I want to turn off the screen and not see him or Kanye. These people are not well. And I don't think we should be subjected to it because there is a need for punishment. Every week it's a new bad guy. I just don't want to see it anymore. I'm glad he's out. Let him deal with his issues privately, and let's all move on. It's 3 years now.
Is it Unica?
Hey, yeah, it's Nikki. I was trying to get in so fast I couldn't change my username to it's still Nikki.
Let me ask you a question before you sound off. Do you think Beyonce's mother, Samuel Jackson, who else was it? The people that all the high power celebrities came out made a difference?
No, I don't. I'll actually be graduating as a paralegal this weekend, and I'm trying to I'm Miss Minnesota. I'm the one who was sounding off in one of your other lives that I live near Hennepin County in Minnesota, and working up to be a judge my own self. But no, I don't think so. The celebrities, they don't have as much power as they think they do as in the legal system. If you're not a part of the case, if you're part of the case, you can pay things off and to go your way. But no, I don't believe that. What I will say though, this judge, and it's already been said, but he had pages and pages worth of what he wanted to say to Jussie. I thought that was
Mhm.
inappropriate. Multiple times he called him a narcissist.
Yes.
And what I kept saying in my head, and I was screaming at the TV as I was watching this, not once at the end did he court order him to therapy. How are you going to
Right.
accuse someone of having a mental illness,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
judges really, because I got my own legal stuff I deal with that dealt with it today, the injustice in the court system. Judges are not allowed to, nobody is allowed to diagnose anybody because we're not doctors. Only a doctor can do that. So, I mean, technically that was an ethical issue on his part for even calling him a narcissist.
True.
But if he recognized that Jussie is, which he is, we all know this, why not court order the guy to therapy?
Right.
I
Right.
totally disagree. I have to totally disagree with everything Lola said. You're dead wrong. Implicit bias and systemic racism is something that I've studied extensively. I can't even tell you the amount of papers I've done in the last 2 years on this. Implicit bias tells you that there's already, just because how my appearance, whether it's how I identify myself or the color of my skin, if something goes wrong, you're going to automatically associate all these stereotypes with me because you were trained to believe that what you heard bad about me has to be true once I become in conflict with whatever you believe with. So you can't tell me that implicit bias did not play a part in Jussie getting 5 doggone months in prison.
Huge.
Exactly.
I have done stuff in my own past, and I'm black, and for some reason I always dated white. I need to stop doing that. And these white guys in Minnesota, the first thing they don't fight you with their fists, they'll take you to court. So I've dealt with that. And you want to know when my boyfriend tried to get a felony on me? He couldn't because I didn't have a record at the time. So what he had to do, what the prosecutor settled with my pro bono attorney is they said I ended up getting 2 years probation, and all it was, I even forgot I even did that issue. Because it was just a bunch of text messages. I just had to call in to Hennepin County once every 30 days for 2 years and just say your name, enter your name, your date of birth. That was it. You hang up, and that's it. You can't tell me that there was any reason that Jussie needed to sit in a prison or wherever he was in the psych ward for 5 freaking months. The guy had no criminal record. You do
Right.
not do any time for a non-violent crime. He was not a threat to anyone. What he needed was court-ordered therapy. And what he should have did is said that Jussie is not allowed to get out of therapy until the therapist believes that he is mentally sane and he can manage narcissism, because that's something my baby daddy got. That's something that will never go away. You always have that mental illness with you. So when I saw Jussie raising his fist, other people might think, now I was embarrassed for the black community when he did that, because I said, how dare you? But I was also so sad because I know mental health on a personal level. And I was almost crying for him. I'm like, this guy is so sick. And people are looking at him, the pride part. Yes, that's a huge part of it, but the guy is mentally ill. Not ill to the point where he can't put on his own pants, but he's sick in the head because he actually believes that he's lied to himself enough thinking that he deserves to get away with it. No, you don't deserve to get away with this. And no, it don't damage the black community as much as people are saying it is. He's a
Right.
celebrity. People don't view them as people like us anyway. So
True.
I disagree with that. But he should have 100% been court ordered for intensive psychotherapy, and he should not be able to get out of it until a therapist believes years down the line that he's okay to get out of it. So I disagree with the high fine that he got. I do believe he needed to pay the city back. Screw the city for talking about you wasted all our time. I don't care. That's your job. It's your job. I get to waste your time if I commit a crime. I don't care. So
Right.
you definitely need to pay the fine. I believe a fine goes with every criminal case. So I'm okay with the fine, but I wasn't okay. What was it? That's 120 or whatever. The restitution was too high. I don't care if he's a celebrity. It needs to fit the crime. He should have never gotten jail time. Let him sit on probation for 2 years and then let him go into intensive therapy for the rest of his life for all I care. But never jail time.
Well, thank you
Amen.
for calling in. People said you would make a great defense attorney. I'm going to try to take in more callers.
All right,
Thank you,
thank y'all.
guys.
To say
Go
one
ahead.
thing. Isn't it the case that the worse the crime is, the harder it is to prove? And this is why we see people get away with murder. When you steal some candy, you go to jail because it's provable. Like this is insane. I'm just happy he's out. I hope he gets help. And you know what? I'm not gonna be mad about the money he has to pay. It's okay. He will be fine. He will be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Miriam, for calling in. I appreciate it. Thank you, Amy J.
Thank
Take
you,
care, guys.
Okay, have a nice one.
Okay. Oh my God, you guys, we got so many people calling in. Got to bring up Diva. Hi, Diva.
People,
Hi, Nina.
people
Hi,
agreeing with
Dan.
me.
Hey.
People agreeing with me and Diva now.
Let's start with you, Diva. Sound off.
You know what, Sharrell? I can't wait till you get like, the shows and you can roll back the footage and everything. The caller that just spoke is exactly what I said the first day.
Right.
This judge premeditated and wrote that whole speech, which berated him before he even sentenced him. Then he tried to play him out by telling the probation first and then the jail time. And historically, they tell you the jail time first and then the probation, right?
Right.
And then also, as she was stating, you diagnose him, but then you don't send him to therapy. So you're dead wrong for that. The judge did so many things wrong, and I really believe this whole case was about bruised ego. I had said that before. The Chicago PD, the prosecutor, the whole state of Chicago, they felt played. They took it personal. And you have to take this as a case. You can't judge him off of how you personally feel. You got to judge him off of the case and the situation. And they really slammed it to him because they were pissed. Okay. And I had said that it was way overkill. And like his own attorney said, you already fined him $10,000 before. Now you want to bring this back up. It's like you beat him, you want to keep beating him and keep beating him down. And again, I agree with the last caller. This didn't bruise the whole community. We have other things that go on. And yes, she is correct. Whoever called and said that thing that happened in Bridgewater, New Jersey is very true. They had the black kid down on the ground like he was public enemy number one, and the other kid that was clearly, they have the video, the both of them was wrong in the fight, and the other kid was just sitting there watching the whole thing.
Right.
So the justice system has to be revamped altogether. You understand? And
agree.
yes, he needs to pay something. Yes, he needs extensive therapy because everybody's saying, well, you lied, you lied. I kept telling y'all, in his mind, he felt like he was telling the truth. And that's why he's standing 10 toes down on that. He thinks he's really telling the truth, which again shows you there's a problem there. There's a problem there.
Nina, you sound off really quickly.
Diva, you're exactly right because you did stand on what you believed and what you said. I see it. I see it. And I'm like you. Let's go back and replay some of these tapes that Sharrell has made because you did say that. And at first I was like, nah, he did this. And you're right. In his mind, he believed he was telling the truth. I wholeheartedly believe with the caller before as well. But what I wanted to say is, honey, Sharrell, when you let some of these people come out, you might want to get your gavel because it's on in the chat in the back room. But anyway, I don't think that Samuel L. Jackson, Tina Lawson could have hushed. Beyonce's mama could have just hushed with what she said. Taraji could have hushed too. I didn't care about what they said. I don't think the stars had a lot to do with it. But what I do know is his brother was taping and filming and counting down every day that his brother was locked up. And I think his brother may have advocated on his behalf more so than anybody else. And you're right. It was a little bit too harsh. It really was. First-time offenders don't get that. I've been a first-time offender, and I had to pay a fine, which had nothing to do with that amount of money. But I understand the more I look at it, he should have been at least sent to a psych ward because he do and still probably will believe that all of this was a damn lie. He spoke his truth. It's not a lie to him,
Right.
So I do pray and hope that when he gets out, that he gets the help that he needs. And lay low, lay low, Jussie. Just lay low.
He ain't gonna do that.
He ain't gonna do that. But
gonna do
I
that.
wish he would because he has family that has really put themselves out there for him. So they might need for him to hush now. You know what I'm saying? But we all know he like Kanye. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it.
Dan, sound off really quickly.
Hello.
Hi, Dan.
So I'm somewhere in the middle. I think that what everyone is saying 100% right. I think that judge wasn't right. I think all these people didn't need to say stuff, but I am somebody, and I don't want to get too deep into it. I am somebody who has actually survived people trying to kill me, calling me F word. I am going to kill you, chasing me down, throwing stuff at me. I'm trying not to curse or say anything.
You mean of a true hate crime?
A true hate crime. So I am somewhere in the middle of, I understand that there is a system that is unjust, and I don't want to take that from anybody because it's a fact.
Right.
But on the other end, in the LGBT community, I feel some type of way. And I know it's not about me individually, but there's a lot of victims out there.
Yeah. And you're saying too that when it really happens, people aren't going to take it as serious because he made a mockery out of it.
It's sort of the same argument with rape allegations and false rape allegations.
Yeah.
In my mind, anyway. Yeah. So I don't know the answer. I don't know the solution. I don't even know the whole situation. I just saw you were live and immediately jumped in.
Well, he will go down in history. I tell you that much. He is definitely going down in history.
He will.
Yes. Bye, Sharrell. You got a long line. Love y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate the call. Take care, guys. All right, guys. I got to wrap it up here because we just did an hour before this. So it's gone on too long. I'm sorry if I didn't get to you backstage. We are out of time. Woo!
Yep.
Well, you know what, Sharrell? Let me say this real quick. It is wonderful that you have these conversations because they need to be had. And it gives us all an opportunity to hear from each other. I heard a lot of good points. You know, I was listening the whole time. And I heard a lot of good points from a lot of people. And it's a lot of passion about these situations. And so I just really appreciate that you're not afraid to let us have these conversations.
You're so sweet, Diva. We have these conversations on our own free time, don't we?
No. I would agree with her though. Like coming in, I'm like Diva, damn. But when other people say it, sometimes it registers, right?
Yeah.
And nobody's saying that they don't think he lied.
Right.
They just saying the consequences was too much.
It was too much. Yeah.
And if you're gonna do it around the board. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get that.
Now
you
you getting it, Perry? Now you get it.
No. I get it. What you saying, but I'm just saying that I think everybody that commit those type of crimes should get the same penalty.
Oh yeah, that's the way it's already supposed to be, Perry. It's supposed to be like that anyway. But
I get it.
All right, I need to wrap this up because we've gone long. I wanted to, so if I didn't get to your call backstage, I do apologize. I want to thank everyone for your super chats. Please leave your comments in the comments section. We have been on this is about 3.5 hours. It's crazy. So I wanted to thank you guys for everything. Let's say bye on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.